I would like to get some of that Tums from him. This is this kills me. I mean, these guys are going to be. It says in the Bible somewhere, he who is first will be last, and vice versa. That could be the case right here. Kyle Busch is first right now. I don't see him staying there.
He could be last. That's true.
And that was a great start by Kyle Busch and Tom Bodine, lined up like that. Both got going quick. They didn't have a big gap or anything.
They kept everybody together. Hornaday looks like he has an idea.
Thoughts about going to the outside.
Really need to have a good run, some momentum when you tuck to the outside. You've got to have that momentum, or you'll just drive out there and stall. He didn't have the momentum, was able to tuck back in to that inside line.
Yeah, Colin Brown was able to let him back in line there. He looked like he may have been able to squeeze him out if he wanted to. He gave him some room.
Inside of 10 laps to go, we always start in a single file restart, and a few trucks have moved outside of that low line. It is Kyle Busch, Todd Bodine. They are up to speed and running as they cross the start-finish line. 6 laps of racing to go at Talladega.
Eric Darnell had made a move to the outside. Mike Wallace was running 7th. He saw Eric coming. He said, I'm going to go outside there with him. I know I can't win this race from the bottom, from 7th. I'm going to have to try to make something happen.
And that's the smartest thing. That's why people talk about how good Mike Wallace is. That's just a great decision. He knows how fast that Ford is. He said, I want to get in front of him. I got a pretty good idea where he's heading.
You see him motioning out the window, telling Eric to stay behind him. We'll try to work together here and get towards the front.
A lot of communication going on, not only with the hands, but also the spotters are being told, hey, let's work together to see if we can move to the front.
But be careful what you ask for, Phil. When you ask somebody to pull up behind you and hit you, it's a dangerous game. These bumpers don't match up. These trucks get very loose when people start pushing on them. Darnell decides he doesn't need Mike Wallace.
Eric Darnell has said, all right, I want to get by Mike Wallace. I want to lead this second pack. Let's see if he's able to do it. John West Townley will jump out in front of him. Let's see if those 2 Fords can work well together.
2 Fords, 2 teammates now on the outside.
They have been so strong this entire race. Eric Darnell has led 48 laps today at this racetrack. He wants to lead the last one. Inside of 5 laps of racing to go, it's still Kyle Busch out in front of Todd Bodine and Ron Hornaday.
Wes Townley doesn't know how to do the job like Eric Darnell and Mike Wallace does. You see him, he's not down on those other trucks. Eric Darnell says, man, I like you, John West, but we got to go. You're not doing it right.
Now Mike Wallace is going to come in. There's a bump draft. Eric jumps to the inside there. I'm not sure if he left enough room for Mike Wallace.
He moves in. A couple other trucks have moved out in front of that 99.
Tough break for Mike Wallace. He just couldn't get back in line. He'll fall to the back, but don't think his race is over.
Now, one of the trucks that moved out was the 6 of Colin Brown. Yes, Colin Brown did bring out our last caution. They put on 4 new tires, put him back out there, and Colin Brown went across the start-finish line in 7th the last lap.
Got John West sideways there. Somebody was pushing on him. He is being shucked out now. He's on the outside, the 3rd lane by himself.
T.J. Bell right behind Colin Brown. T.J. got a lucky dog earlier. Now he's racing for the win here at Talladega.
What an impressive job he's done in that TRG Chevrolet here in the last few races. This is a brand new truck for T.J. built by Kevin Harvick for TRG.
It is heating up. They cross the start-finish line. 3 laps of racing to go at Talladega. Here comes that second line.
Colin Brown, 21st. One of the last trucks on the lead lap 2 laps ago. Now he's racing for the lead.
Here he comes, Colin Brown on the second line. The train is going by. Colin Brown has got momentum. Let's see if he can get by that 51 of Kyle Busch.
They're all pushing. You see them all wiggling. That's because they've got somebody on their bumper. Matt Craftsman pulls out to make it 3 wide.
Side by side when they go into turn number 3. Kyle Busch on the inside. He's got help from the 30.
Colin Brown just doesn't need T.J. Bell to get too overzealous and push that truck too hard. He'll push him right around, but they're taking the lead on the outside.
Getting ready to come through the tri-oval. Colin Brown, can he lead this lap? Here comes Kyle Busch once again. He surges forward on the inside. Cross the start-finish line. The separation, 2 1/1000ths of a second. 2 laps of racing to go.
It's anyone's race right here. Colin Brown is leading that pack on the outside. Kyle Busch hanging tough right on the yellow line.
This is synchronized driving. Anything can go wrong at any second. The way they're pushing on each other, these trucks want to get out of control. The drivers are fighting constantly to try to hang on.
Look at Todd Bodine get up against that 51 and propel him by that 6 truck.
Those 2 trucks have pulled away from the rest of the trucks in the bottom line. That could be detrimental to that line.
Now here comes Hornaday. He's going to give a big push to Bodine, who will in return give that push to Kyle Busch.
comes Colin Brown again with momentum on the outside. TJ Bell right behind him.
Through the tri-oval, across the start-finish line. White flag is in the air, 1 to go. Colin Brown is leading in his Ford on the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch once again on the inside.
We're going to make it back around, Mikey?
I don't see how. I'm shocked we made it this far. I love the job these guys are doing, but I just can't explain how difficult this is, Phil. All these trucks are trying to crash.
Colin Brown now has the nose.
Oh, there it goes.
Problems
There it
behind
goes.
him, and this will end the race. Who's in front?
The caution isn't out yet. This is all behind the pack. Maybe the caution hasn't flown. No caution.
They still haven't thrown the caution. Kyle Busch is in front of Todd Bodine. Colin Brown hung out on the outside. Can he get help from TJ Bell in time? Coming out of turn number 4. Now Todd Bodine moves to the outside. Bodine makes the run. They go through the tri-oval. Can Kyle Busch get to him?
Here
Todd
comes
Bodine and Kyle Busch. It's Todd Bodine at the line. He'll win again.
And TJ Bell into the outside wall, comes across the line 8 into the outside wall.
How about Todd Bodine winning the last 3 super speedway races?
He was able to get Kyle Busch sideways off turn 4, and that broke Kyle Busch's momentum. He jumped to the outside, and what did it open up? The floodgates. Here they all come.
Look at, do you see Rick Wren?
Rick
How happy he
celebrating.
was. Ron Hornaday comes across the line in 2nd. Johnny Benson 11th. We have a new point leader.
39 points unofficially, the difference between Hornaday and Benson. So we have a new point leader in the truck series, and a familiar face is going to be headed back to victory lane here at Talladega. Of the 3 races, he's won 2 of them.
How good is that? How good was that? That was perfect.
Also won
my goodness.
Daytona last year.
3 in a row for Todd Bodine in this Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra.
I mean, this year, Daytona this year.
Yeah.
The last 3 races.
Last 3 super speedway races. There's Mike Hillman Jr. emotional after this win.
Todd Bodine won that race. He got in the back of Kyle Busch coming off turn 4. We'll look at that. He got Busch all out of whack and just drove up beside him.
Todd Bodine celebrating win number 14. Adam.
And Mike Hillman Jr. had to wipe the tears from his eyes when he climbed down off the pit box. You got a hug from your father. I know you're excited, but what about that driver in the closing laps? He was amazing.
You know, that guy drives his butt off, and these guys pour their hearts into this thing. And 3 speedway races in a row, that's unheard of, you know. These guys do a great job week in and week out on this Lumber Liquidators Toyota Tundra. We fight through adversity no matter what they throw at us, and we're back in victory lane. It's awesome.
It's hard to win at Talladega. Not many have gone back-to-back. Todd Bodine, 2 in a row in Alabama.
His 2nd win of 2008. As you mentioned, Phil, he wins the first super speedway of the race, kicking off the 2008 season at Daytona. And now he grabs the checkered flag and will celebrate here in front of the crowd.